Good morning. So we are doing the Bhagavad Gita. Today we are going to do two important topics. First is called Dhriti, which means perseverance, and the second one is called joy. So we will understand both these. These are important lessons, so pay attention. Yesterday we had completed two things. One was doer. Who is a doer? And the second one was called intellect. So doership was clearly described in Satvik, Rajasik and Tamasic doership. Likewise, intellect was described in Satvik, Rajasik and Tamasic, three kinds of intellect. Depending on where you are placed, which is predominant, whether it is Sattva, Rajas or Tamas, that intellect and that doership is prevalent. So today we are going to do something which is called dhriti or firmness or perseverance. Basically, we are persevering on certain things. How do you persevere? And the second one we will do is called joy. What is this joy in life that we talk about? So let us see what Krishna has to say on perseverance first. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 33. The unwavering perseverance by which man controls through the yoga of meditation the functions of the mind, the vital air and the senses. The firmness is Satvik, Arjuna. So Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna that the unwavering perseverance by which man controls through the yoga of meditation the functions of the mind, the vital airs and the senses, that firmness, that perseverance, that dhriti is sattvic in nature. Now, naturally it is our job to ask what exactly is this all about. Let us go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is the mind. And Sri Krishna is telling us that most of the things in the world happen and go wrong or maybe go right because of the mind. I would give it around 80 to 90% of what happens in the world is referencing the mind only. So Sri Krishna is telling us perseverance. That means you have to continue to do what you do and follow it to a good end. Keep on going after something continuously. And in which he says the mind can be controlled by the yoga of meditation. What is meditation? I have already described. But let me again give you a small recap of what it is. Meditation basically means concentrating on a subject, one subject, and then deconcentrating. That means just defocusing from that object. Why? Because now you are the object. So it is literally like zooming in. Zooming in and then going into the depth of it. Have you ever seen an electron microscope or for that matter a telescope? Now let us say you are using, or even your camera for that matter. Let us say you are using a camera. Now there is a bird far away on a tree. You are going to Keep on focusing it right up to the point where the tree is. Then what do? Then you focus on the eye of the bird or some part of the bird and zoom inwards towards that. When you do that, you are literally entering that bird's eye. Think, meditation is something like that. If I meditate on God, God according to the material world is far away. God knows where He is. He is too far. So you meditate on God. Let us say some image of some God that you have. Sri Ram. So I am meditating on Sri Ram's beautiful image. So the image is outside of there and I am just focusing on it. So when I focus on the image, what happens? All the concentration is pointed one direction. All right? And then what happens? I focus on to Sri Ram. Maybe I'm focusing on his beautiful eyes. And then I go towards the eyes. And I look at those eyes. They are so serene and wonderful to look at. And then once I focus on to that object, I go inwards. It's literally like I have entered Sri Ram's beautiful eyes. And then what happens? That God which was outside of you has now come inside of you. He has come inwards. He is now embedded inside your being, in your heart. Got it? Meditation is something like that. Now tell me, where are you? You have become one with the object of meditation. So meditation in the initial stages is focusing on the outward and then going inwards. So meditation is something like that. Now he says, persevering, unwavering perseverance by which man controls through the yoga of meditation, the firmness of the mind. He is not saying that you have to do meditation over here. He is saying meditate on the firmness of the mind. So let us say in your mind, you say to yourself, oh, coronavirus is all over the town. I am feeling so down. I am feeling so sick. Today, everybody, my neighbor has got coronavirus. I am suffering. It's so hot. I am suffering so much. In your mind, you have created this imagery. And now you are focusing on to this imagery. In a very short duration of time, that which you are focusing starts becoming you. That object which you said, I am feeling so sick now. You become sick. And this is clearly defined by what Sri Krishna is saying. When you are so much unwavering perseverance, you are persevering unwaveringly, going towards that thing only. I am sick, I am sick, I am sick, I am sick. Yes, finally you become sick. And this is what it means. The meditation on that object. What is the object? It's the mind. The functions of the mind, the vital airs and the senses. There are vital airs inside of us and outside. When we are focusing on that, when we are meditating on that, oh, it's so hot, it's so hot. I'm just giving an example of climate. Just think about it. It's so hot, it's so hot. I'm not able to breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Well, surely you will not be able to breathe. This is what happens. And why is this meditation so important? Having good thoughts is so important. Why do you tell yourself that you are sick? Why not say, I am going to be fine, everything is fine? It is just a mild thing, it does not matter really. Control that senses of yours. Don't keep on looking outside. Don't say, oh, it is so bad over there. Do you get what I am saying? It is very important that you control your mind, your senses, and your vital airs. You see, a deep diver, person who dives deep enough, should be able to control his airflow. He should be able to hold his breath for quite some time. He dives and then surfaces. He is able to control his air. So, if you can physically control it, here you can do it by meditation also. Meditate on that object that I will be able to do it. I have found many people in this world who believe they can't do things. I don't think this is possible for me to do. They immediately disown it. When you take ownership of something, you should be able to see it towards culmination, towards the final point. Do it. It is very important to complete the task. So don't keep on saying, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Please understand, your mind is a very beautiful tool, provided you know how to use it. Using your mind is important. So meditation, the yoga of meditation, the functions of the mind, control. You have to control through the yoga of meditation. The functions of the mind has to be controlled. You can't allow the mind to keep on doing what it wants. It's a horse. Mind is like an animal. A dog. Suppose if you have a dog, your dog, if it is not controlled, will tear up everything that it sees. Your bedding, your slippers, you name it. It's going to poop all over the place unless and until you know how to control the dog. Likewise, your mind is to be controlled. When you control your mind, your senses, then you will not be able to fall down. This kind of control, this kind of unwavering perseverance, when you control through the yoga of meditation, focusing and then defocusing, going into the object and then controlling what is happening there, you have the power within your grasp. And this happens even in the material world. So don't say I can't do it. Focus on to that object and start doing it. Some of you have a difficulty of meditation, or even the question of focusing and defocusing. I have given you all a very simple objective in life. I have told you all, take any object that you wish to. Anything. Let us say you are keeping an image of Sri Krishna in front of you. Look at that object unwaveringly. You cannot do like this, like this, like this. No, you cannot even blink your eyes. Focus on that object without blinking. And just keep on looking at that object. Now suppose you like his flute, or you like his moorpank, peacock feather, or his eyes, or his lips, whatever that you feel you can zero onto. Focus on that for 10 minutes at least. Give yourself this much amount of exercise. You do this every single day of your life, you will see that your concentration, your meditation changes completely. You become completely focused in this world. You will not then waver. Unwavering perseverance. How many of you are actually doing it? Hardly one or two. And even those one or two are doing it like once in a while. No. You have to do it literally every single day. You are able to watch movies and serials and every other thing looking at that stupid people paying those things continuously for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. How is it that you can't do this for 10 minutes? Please don't say that I can't do it. You have too many important things to do. No, do this. Do this. Focus unwaveringly, without wavering, without any disturbance. Focus on that thing. That is the concentration and then deconcentration. Basically, we are defocusing. Focus and defocus on that object. Now, come to the mind, the senses, and the vital airs. You can control your breathing also. Count it. Inward breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Try this. Sometimes you have to focus like this. Focus on your breath. This will give you concentration in the material world also. Why is it that they talk of meditation and breath control? Is so that you can focus on things. Your mind should be able to move objects in this world. Whether it is intellectual or otherwise, you will be able to solve problems. You will be able to solve problems which dog you so much, like your mental health. These problems can get sorted out. 90% of the problems in the world get sorted out because of this. And this firmness with which you do things, meditation, the power of meditation, okay, when you use it for the functions of the mind, senses, and vital airs, that firmness is Satvik in nature. So, Arjuna, that is the firmness for a Satvik. Got it? So, now we go to the next one. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 34. The perseverance, dhriti, however, by which a man seeking rewards for his action clutches with extreme fondness virtues, earthly possessions, and worldly enjoyments, that perseverance is said to be Rajasik, Arjuna. Now let us see. There are lots of people in this world. They say these words. In Hindi they say, मेरी इज्जत का सवाल है. I am bothered about my position in the society. You don't understand. I have worked so hard to get to this position. This is how people talk. They are bothered about how they are placed in their society and the people around them, how they have done well in their companies, how they have got promotions, how they have got money, how they have got accolades from their bosses. People are bothered about these things. These kind of things which a person is after. The perseverance, however, by which a man seeks rewards for his action. He is seeking rewards for his action. I have done this for you. I have done this for the world. People have this habit of saying, you have done this for what? I have gone after this subject so much. I have to get the results. I have to win this court case. I have to be the number one in the class. I have to do this. People say this because it's a matter of my prestige. I have always come first. I have always stood by my truth. And that is why it is a matter of my prestige, my family issues, my nation, my national issues, blah, 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 blah. So when you have such a kind of an idiot in front of you who talks like this, that it is important that he does this perseveres after a subject, goes after something, literally because he has to get the end results. I have to become good in this because people will then recognize me, will respect me in the society. Respect you in the society. You will be dead very soon and nobody is going to remember who you are. Not a single soul on this planet Earth will remember who you are. And yet you are saying that I need respect. Respect is like a glass. It can break any minute. It's very delicate. So, why is it important to have this respect? A Rajasik kind of a person, a Rajasik dhriti, perseverance, is this, where a man is clutching after his virtues, earthly possessions, and worldly enjoyments. Earthly possessions. This is my property. I have made it so well. Look at the gardens, look at the house, look at the way I have kept these things around me. Have you seen my house? It is spick and span. You should come to my kitchen and see. My kitchen is so beautiful. I do not allow even a drop of anything to fall down over there. Have you seen the clothes that I wear? They are white, absolutely white. People are so much bothered about what they are doing, how they are doing, their earthly possessions, the way they have to look good in front of other people. They will do anything in this world to look good in front of other people. Because it's a matter of prestige. It's a matter where I have done so many years of my life. I have seen to it that things happen like this only. And at the end of the day, worldly enjoyments. I am focusing on working so hard so that tomorrow, when I retire, I will have a good kitty, a good amount of money in the bank, and I will lead a very good lifestyle, which is a retired lifestyle. I want to be a very good retired person. I should be having a very good house, servants, cars, and everything around me, for which I have really put in all my efforts. When we have this kind of a perseverance in the material world, that perseverance, that dhriti, that firmness is called Rajasik. A Rajasik person's dhriti is like this. Satvik, Rajasik and Tamasic. End results I have already told you all. I am not going to repeat them. So now we will go to the Tamasic one. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 verse 35. The perseverance, dhriti, by which an evil-minded person does not give up sleep, fear, anxiety, sorrow and vanity as well, that perseverance is Tamasic. A person, he is so evil-minded that many a times he says, I have been thinking full day and night about this issue. I have not been able to sleep because of this issue. I am so much carried away by what is happening around me. Do you know there is so many problems in my life? I don't know how to get out of it. I have lost my sleep. On one side we have this person, and on the other side we have this person who says, I don't give a damn what happens. I am going to go to sleep. Both these people are Tamasic. Did you get it? It is not just giving up sleep, it is also oversleeping. What is anyway going to happen? It doesn't matter. I'll just go to sleep. Or fear. A person is so fearful. He says, I don't know what's going to happen, tomorrow we will have shortage of money, the 15 days there is a lockdown, there is no food in the house, there is no water, there is no this, there is no that, I may be falling sick, and if I fall sick, I can't go to the doctor, there are no cabs out there, the rickshaws are off the road. This is fear. So when a person is fearful, when he is fearful about his future, he doesn't know what to do. This kind of fear that comes in a person, this perseverance, the way in which he perseveres in this direction, driven by fear, such a kind of a person is Tamasic. Then he says anxiety. That is something which everybody knows. When is my exam going to be held? I don't know. Government is not even releasing the dates. Whether I will get the degree or no. All the roads are closed now. There are no flights in and out of the country. What am I to do? Anxiety. A person is anxious because too many problems, and he is focused in it. Every day the person will keep on thinking, what is to be done, what is to be done, what is to be done, what is to be done. I don't know. This I don't know what is to be done, what is going to happen, how things are going to. Does anybody have control over it? Do you know what's going to happen tomorrow? Nobody knows. Only God knows, right? Krishna knows. Why are you bothered about it? But no. The people, those who are Tamasic in Guna, their perseverance is also Tamasic. I have to worry so much, Tomorrow, where is the money going to come from? Where is the food going to be there? If somebody falls sick, tomorrow this is going to happen, that is going to happen. I will be left just like high and dry. I have nothing in this world to fall back on. That kind of a thing. Or sorrow. My father died, My mother died. I don't know what to do. And the person keeps on carrying it for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. And they keep on doing it. I was watching something. Now they were showing the graves of all the people who fell in the war. Okay. All those huge graves were there. And I don't remember the film or what it was. The person says, oh, they lost their life in Vietnam War. They lost their life in Iraq War. I am so much this thing. The poor fellow. What are you talking about? That person has done his duty. Why are you not doing your duty? You are crying over something that has happened. That person has won the war or done something nice. You are doing worse things on earth. And this is the kind of sorrow that a person has. What sorrow? Why are you sorrowing? If something has happened, it's happened, it's gone and finished. People go in manic depression and God knows all kinds of different words they come up with. And then they are in the hospital 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, still trying to overcome the mind. Then they go for therapies. What are you doing? Krishna is explaining over here. That is Tamasic in nature, sir. Every time when you keep on dwelling in the past and what is going to be the future, you are showing your fear, your anxiety. This is what you are talking about. Or if it is your vanity, what is this vanity all about? A vain person. Now, what is a vain person supposed to do? The vain person is absolutely bothered about himself or herself. They are so vain that you cannot even imagine. They are focused on what they are doing. Now, all these things, and because they are basically evil minded, these Tamasic guna people, they are absolutely evil minded. Please remember one thing. I have made this very clear to all of y'all. The Satvik people, the Rajasik people, and the Tamasic people show characteristics of even the wombs that they come from. A Tamasic person is truly, absolutely a Rakshas, a demonic person. Now, demons in our world are different, but Rakshasi, they are totally evil minded. They may appear like human beings, but they are evil. Please know this. They are demonic to the core because their thinking itself is full of sleep, fear, anxiety, sorrow, and vanity. These are the things they are bothered about. And they dwell into this subject so much you cannot even imagine. And this kind of perseverance, where a person keeps on hitting at that subject, continuously going after it, that is Tamasic kind of a perseverance. Now, what happens to these three kind of people? If you have a perseverance which is Satvik in nature, you will reach the heavens, you will be reborn in a good family as a human being, and you will have a chance of enlightenment. Yes. If you are Rajasik kind of a person, you will be born as a demon, okay, or you will be born as a lesser creature on earth. Maybe a tiger, a lion, or something like that, or maybe a wolf, for all you know. Or maybe you will be born as the poorest human being. You are literally like a homeless kind of a creature. And those who are Tamasic, they will be born as worms or lesser creatures than that. And maybe as a Rakshasa, maybe as a ghost. That is what is the nature. It is already defined. Whether you believe it or not. See, nobody gives a damn whether you believe it or you don't believe it. There are lots of non-believers. But this is not for non-believers. Remember, we are doing 18th chapter. Don't forget, this is the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In the end, Krishna is going to say these words very clearly. There are lots of people who don't care about this and who don't bother about this and don't believe in it. We are not here to teach those people. They are free to do whatever they feel like. Result is going to be what we are predicting just now. Result is going to be what Krishna has said. Even for those non-believers. I hope you understand this. So, but you are not supposed to change the thinking of the non-believers. They can go to whichever hell that they wish to. It doesn't matter to us. Got it? So now we are going towards what is called as joy. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, verse 36 and 37. Two verses are together. Now hear from me the threefold joy too. That in which a striver finds enjoyment through the practice of adoration, meditation, and service to God, etc., and whereby he reaches the end of sorrow. Such a joy, though appearing as poison in the beginning, tastes like nectar in the end. Hence, the joy born as it is from the placidity of the mind, brought about by meditation on God, has been declared as Satvik. I went a little fast, but I will explain to you. Krishna is saying when you meditate on God, who is this God he is talking about? He is talking about himself. He is talking about Krishna himself. Krishna is talking about himself. When you meditate on me, when your entire life is driven by me, when you are focused only on me and not on the sorrows of this world. What are the sorrows of this world? My parents are suffering, my husband is sick, my wife is sick, my children are not doing well, there is coronavirus out there, the hospitals are not having oxygen, this is a problem, that is a problem, so many problems around you. These are all the sorrows of your life. There is no job, there is no money, the banks are not working, where to get this thing from, how am I going to do things? All these are sorrows of your life. If you are going to focus even on one sorrow, my father is sick, my mother is sick, my father is sick, my mother is sick, my father is sick, my mother is sick. You are bothered in that. You are not bothered about Krishna at all. Even for a minute, if you were to take that into consideration, do you remember what is the perseverance connected to sattva? When you are focused on some object of meditation, now you're focused on your parents' illness or your husband's illness or your wife's illness or whatever it is, or the money matters or whatever, your total concentration has gone there. Meditating on those objects. Krishna is saying when you are meditating on me, then the joy that comes is called Satvik in nature, sir. There are three folds of joy. The striver finds enjoyment through the practice of adoration, meditation, and service to God. Adoration. You have to adore God, you have to admire Him, you have to keep on praising Him continuously. You cannot have this, oh, I am having problems, I have got this and I have got that. There is money issues, there is job issue, there is parents issue, there is husband-wife issue, there is. Where is the adoration to God coming in there? There is no adoration of God. It is off and on and off and on. It is only when you pray that it is there. No, it has to be 24/7. 365 days in a year. All the years of your life. You just have to keep on thinking about the divine. Admire the Lord. Focus only on His glories. And meditation and service to God. Service to God is so critical. Seva. If you are not doing seva of God, or even meditation on the divine, on Krishna himself, then where is the question of you being in the path of sattva? If you are going to be not bothered about any of these things, but you are bothered so much about all other things in the world. People come to me and tell me, no, I have been thinking of God only. How much time in a day do you think? You are bothered about sleep. You are bothered, I am not getting sleep. I am not getting this. I am sick. I am tired. I am hungry. I eat. I do this. I do that. You watch movies. You do so many things. You do your studies and you do your other stuff. You take time to eat. You go time for even all your daily ablutions. You have time to dress up. You have time for everything. And how much time is left for God then? There is no adoration anywhere. Adoration has to be continuous. Seva has to be continuous. You are doing the job for God. Seva. Meditation on Him. Continuously focusing on one divine. Then what happens? Then, in the initial stages, the joy is going to be slightly tough. You are not going to feel it good. It will be the beginning of the joy is bad. Think about it. I will give you an understanding of this subject. Let us say, Your parents or your husband or wife is sick. They are sick. And you are thinking only of God. So initially what will happen is their sickness is going to trouble. They are falling sick, they are falling sick, they are falling sick, they are falling sick, they are falling sick. And today's time, coronavirus, you know how it is, isn't it? What to do, 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 what to do. And when you are doing this kind of a nonsense, your concentration, your meditation on God is going away. No, even if they are sick, focus only on the divine. Initially, the pain is going to be there, little pain is going to be there. But soon, when you are focused on the divine, it's the divine's job to take care of whoever they are. Because at the end of the day, nothing is in your hands. You know that very well, isn't it? Their sickness or their problems is not in your hands, no? Even if it is a matter of money, job, or whatever, you don't have any control over anything. So then why are you worried for somebody else or something, or your own job for that matter? If you are focused on your own money matters or your job or your health or whatever the future is holding for you, you're taking away the attention from the adoration to God. Meditation, adoration, and service to God. You're going away from this. No, you do these three things. And then what happens? In the initial stage, it will appear like poison. All this will appear bad. But later on, it turns into nectar. Because the end is so beautiful. The divine Lord Krishna himself takes care of everything for you. Because you are not responsible for anything. Nothing. You are not responsible for any end result. And because you are not responsible for any end result, then you are not focused on the end result at all. So what you do, you just leave it to the Lord, just adore him, admire him, focus on him, meditate on him, and just do seva. And when you do the seva, then at that point in time, the divine Lord himself will give you everything. Krishna will give you everything that you wish to. Then the placidity of your mind will come. You are not going to be disturbed at all. I have given you the technique of meditation. I have told you how to make your mind completely attached to God and not to your own, future and other things. So please understand this. And don't run after these material worldly things because nobody has control. Were you even thinking that there is going to be the second wave or the third wave or whatever? Nobody knew. Did you know that the steel is going to become costly? No. Did you know that the gold's rate is going to go down and up and this? Nobody knew. There is no prediction like that. Everything happens by the will of God. So kindly pray to God. Focus on him. This kind of joy that comes out of praying to God and being one with him is Satvik. The joy is Satvik. Enjoy this. And don't run after stupid things in this world. Now let us see how a stupid person does. The Rajasik joy. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 38. The delight which ensues from the contact of the senses with the object is eventually poison-like, though appearing at first as nectar. Hence it is spoken of as Rajasik. Here, Sri Krishna is giving us a very beautiful understanding of the subject. But most of you will not understand this. So I have to tell you what it means. The delight, the joy, which comes out of the contact of the senses with the object. So what are the senses? Let us try to understand some very basic stuff. Now, let us start with food. The food is so nice, so healthy. People believe there is healthy food around. Let us say it is written somewhere, good proteins have to be eaten. Okay, good fats have to be eaten. Little fat. Maybe fat less. No fats to be used. Only proteinous food is to be taken. No carbs. That is how it is written, because we have to overcome our fat in the body. That is why no carbs, no fats, only proteins and all to be. This is what the person thinks. Initially, the initial stage is, yes, there is a nice muscle build up, there's everything going on fine. Very soon, in the near future, the problems start coming. You starved your body of fat. Okay? You starved your body of carbohydrates. There are important fats which are required by the body. You may think that, LDL or HDL or those kinds of fat are not important. Who said these words to you? Some research somewhere? Don't go by that. Or carbohydrates. People have given up carbohydrates. I don't eat this kind of a thing. You see, your brain activity, it's not going to function properly. Your body is going to fail very soon. But initially, in the first year, 2 years, you are going to feel very nice about it. There are people who lose weight. 20 kgs I lost, Very good. And I feel very joyous. Yeah, look at me. I can run. I can do this. Yes, don't worry. It will happen for 3 months, 4 months. After that, you're finished. Because your body was exactly in the way it was supposed to be. Not overly fat, but there was some kind of a tissue which was there. It was needed because of certain reasons. We don't understand these things. Running after nonsensical stuff, you get joy initially, but later on it turns into poison. Now let us take other things. I just told you about food. People say, yes, I have to eat healthy food, proteinaceous. This is what happens. Now let us come to your living conditions. Now you are living in a fancy house. Today you are doing quite a lot of stuff. You are working in a company and your lifestyle has become literally like a European. You eat a lot of cheese. This is how I live. This is the kind of fruits that I eat. This is the kind of things that I do. Very good. I go to the gym every day. Gym. I have to go to the gym. I do so many push-ups, pull-ups, this, that, 2 years, no gym. Then what happens? No, don't worry. I will do exercise at home. Good. Exercise at home. And very shortly, you're fit and fine, yeah. And then you have what is called as a dad bod. A body of a dad. With all those stomachs, those bulges here and there. And there somewhere at the bottom, you are going through your divorce. Huh? The dad bod is not because of exercise or anything. It's because of your pressures, your tensions, your problems in life, your anxieties. Your wife is leaving you. Now, there is very easy thing, and it's very easy for a person to keep on blaming everything. Initially, the joy is there. When a person, when he is delighting in the contact of his sense with the object, let us take marriage. Oh, such an innocent girl, such a beautiful girl. She's a village girl. I am getting married to her. Good, get married to her. She looks so innocent. She is so nice. She's so kind. Wait for a year or so. Not even wait for a year. Wait for 6 months. Your life is going to be hell. Because the initial 5-6 months are going to be of joy. Yes, complete joy. After that, what happens? Your misery starts. This is Rajasik kind of a thing. A Rajasik kind of a joy is this, where a person goes through initially very high in life and then later on. Likewise, it is of money matters, job, every other thing in the world. When your senses are connected to the objects, you may buy a fancy car. Okay, let me give you one example which is going to be very funny now. You have brought the latest gadget in the world, a washing machine which is literally magic. And in less than 6 months' time, the PCB blows off. You know what a PCB is? Printed circuit board. It blows off. There is a chip in that. Now you paid through your nose for that refrigerator or for that washing machine or for that instrument, whatever it might be a computer of yours or your cell phone, which was the latest gadgetry, and something goes wrong. 6 months later, you have been using it for 6 months, okay, and you are really very happy with the performance because the senses and the object of the senses were giving you very nice, happiness. 6 months later, you go back to the service center and you tell them, sir, this machine that I bought from you, now it is not working. It is in the warranty period. I want this replaced. The company says, yes, sir, it will take 1 month's time. We have to get the chip from abroad, all that PCB has to come from Japan or China or some such kind of a thing. You will be amazed to know that even the simple chip manufacturing, you don't get those anymore. Because the world is having so much shortage of these circuit boards and chips and stuff like that. For the next 2 years, you will not get them now. Now, if you have a fancy car, like a Tesla or all those, very, very high-end cars, a Jaguar or, oh, God knows, maybe the latest Toyotas or whatever. If the chip blows inside, because everything is run by a chip nowadays, those chips are not available. Because there are restrictions put in this world, that is why China has gone and swapped everything from the marketplace. There is a backlog for 2 years. So the amount of money that you might have paid for them is gone down the drain. So did you see this? So initially you are going to enjoy, but later on you're going to repent all your life for doing those kind of things. So I've given you multiple examples to understand eventually what comes off as poison. That joy which came initially because you did something really great out of your ego and arrogance will turn into immediate poison, and all your anxiety and problems and everything will come to you. Or the joy will turn into complete disaster for you. Because that is what happens to a Rajasik kind of a joy. Initially it's good, and then later on it is hell. Now we go to the third one. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 39. That which stupefies the self during its enjoyment as well as in the end, derived from sleep, indolence, and obstinate error, such a delight has been called Tamasik. In the last 1.5 years, people have been sleeping. They don't even want to get up for the calls, Zoom calls and this calls and team calls. God knows all those calls are there, and they will switch off their cameras and their audios and everything, and they will sit like a bhikari in front of that computer of theirs. Not even dressed properly, not even taken a bath. They have woken up at whatever time they feel like. They have slept at whatever time they feel like. People are like this. They're indolent. They are Tamasic, and they believe, that this is joyous living for them. Actually, they have forgotten what it is all about. If you are not a disciplined person, if you are doing everything the way you feel like, you are getting up at whatever time you feel like, taking bath at whatever time you feel like, that is not correct. This joy which comes from sleep, induced by sleep, I just need to sleep, I just need to sleep, or I am not getting sleep, or I am not getting sleep. Both these things. The joy which you feel, no, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. What 5 more minutes? This joy which a person gets just because of sleep or no sleep, or because of indolence, or obstinate error. I am not going to do this. I will see to it that it is not done. Why are you so obstinate? Why are you so persistent in what you are not going to do and what you are going to do? I'm going to do it this way only. This is how I want it done. Don't be so insistent on things. So the idiot who is insistent on things, or is completely indolent, or is having this kind of obstinacy, and an error of judgment is there, where a person has no clue what he is doing and how he is doing. And it is induced by sleep, the joy which comes out of this. See, I was able to make that fellow do that work. It's because of me. I was able to get it done. Okay. This kind of a joy which a person enjoys is Tamasic joy. That which stupefies the self. The self is totally dead in that person. The self is completely hidden, stupefied. The true self inside, the God inside, is completely not even controlled. Why? Because the person is so much indulging in wrong activities. His enjoyment is completely towards what? Towards sleep, indolence, giving himself to all kinds of, oh, I am not well, I am sick, I don't know what to do. What are you doing? This kind of a joy which you think you are deriving out of troubling other people or making other people miserable, the joy which a person gets because of non-performance, because of being lazy. I just want to sleep. I don't want to do this. This is not possible. Every time they give not possible, this is not there, that is not there. Such kind of a person who gets joy out of all these things, and this kind of a delight, a person who delights in this kind of a thing, this delight is Tamasic. Again, recapping what I said, those who indulge in Sattva will be born again in a higher womb as a person who can get towards liberation in next life. So a human birth will be there in a good family for Sattva. For Rajas, it's going to be a lower womb, maybe something like an animal or a bird or something like that, or maybe like a demon. And if the thing is quite lesser, then maybe he'll be born as a human, but a very poor man, maybe a homeless person, maybe having so many issues with his life. Maybe a person who has no legs, no hands, eyes are a problem, deformed body or whatever, that kind of a person. Rajasik kind. And Tamasic, this person will be completely born as a worm, a small worm, anybody insignificant kind of a thing, a Rakshasa or a ghost. So you decide on what is the birth that you wish to have. And Sri Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Now you understand what I'm talking about? There are two things which I've explained just now. One is about Dhriti, which is perseverance, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas kind. And I have explained joy, which is again of three kinds, Satvik, Rajasik and Tamasic. So you decide for yourself what kind of a joy or what kind of a perseverance you wish to have in this world. It is at the end of the day in your hands to do what you got to do. So I've come to the end of verse 39. Tomorrow morning at 6:30, I will start from verse 40 onwards. Take care, have a great day, and stay safe. Bye.